So today we have David here from the Optimize IS team. David is an expert at many different tools, Airtable being at the core of them, and then he's now also an expert, I'd say, at Softr, Glide, Make, and many other tools. So David, if you want to give a quick intro, a little bit of your background, and then we can jump into what is Softr.
Sure. Thank you so much, Ben. So as he mentioned, I'm David. I'm part of the Optimize IS team. I am really into what it is software development. I'm also a software expert and software ambassador as well. And I also work with Glide, work with Fillout.com, Make, Zapier, like any automation system that might be required, and also custom scripting. Yeah, like I usually take these kind of projects. So it is really nice to be here. And yeah, happy to be part of the team.
Yeah, David has, I don't think we'll be able to show all of his most complex software builds on this video, but David has some really complex, like custom code, things that look and feel really nice in Softr, but stuff that you wouldn't be able to do just out of the box.
Yeah.
So we can jump into it, David. If you want to give, like, maybe we start with just like the high level, like what is Softr? Why would you need it?
Great, sure. So I like to call Softr a Lego box. You have pretty much a box full of Legos that you can put together because they are already predefined blocks that allow you to sort all the logic and design pretty quickly. So that's actually one of Softr's main messages, that it is building your business fast, because you can pretty much put something together, okay, in a few hours that you could start using with the public. Of course, that when I say in a few hours, I'm not exactly referring to, hey, you will have your full product built in 2 hours. No, it will be more like a demo of the product that you will need to refine more with design, custom scripting, connecting with other tools, doing automations, but at least you can test, you can have an MVP pretty quickly. So this is Softr. It allows us to connect it with dynamic data from Airtable, from HubSpot, from Google Sheets, Monday, and even from more conventional databases like Postgres, MySQL. Like you can do any kind of connection that you want. And regarding the Lego functionality, it is pretty much that they build in blocks. Okay, so all the builds are in blocks. I actually want to show you an example right here that they have in their main page. Right here. So these blocks, these really nice looking blocks that you see right here, they're like already done. You just connect them with the data and you can build something really nice. And we have from very simple blocks to very complex blocks. So you can
When you say
yeah.
when you say a block, is that like a block is a way where you can show your Airtable data in Softr, or is a block just like an element on a page?
You could do it with both things. Actually, let me open my studio, okay, real quick, and I will be able to show you what a block is.
And so to get here, you would just like create an account and it automatically gives you access to all of these things.
It is correct. When you create an account, you will see this page right here, and it shows you like it allows you to pre-build your app from scratch. So you can like do all of these pages right here: home, list pages, list details pages. I will explain you later what it is. Form, sign in, sign up, forget password, user page. So we will just create one with everything right here. It is really fast. They also have a very nice AI feature where you can say what your business is and it will create a full system for you already with images, text, and all of that. So you can prove a concept. And right here, we are in Softr. So you can see that in the editor, when I hover on top of certain elements, it highlights in yellow. That's because it is a block, okay? So right here, we have a header block, all right? We have right here a welcome block that I think it's what they call a feature grid. Okay, so you can create features. We have list blocks that these ones, as you can see, they have sources. This source would be an Airtable account, okay, or a Google Sheets account or any software that you have, all right? And yeah, you can keep expanding it as much as you want. So if we want to add a new block, we can visualize that we have dynamic blocks, we have static blocks, and we have containers. Okay. So in the past, software would only be a top to bottom design, so everything will be a stack on top of each other for all the blocks. But recently, in August 2024, they released the containers so that now you can add blocks one next to each other and you can build really nice designs. So just imagine that you have, for example, a form right here, okay, and right here you have a really nice looking image, okay, or you have two forms, one next to each other, or you have one form and a map. Those options are there, so they're really nice. And then in the other categories, we have dynamic, which displays, as it says, data from our data sources, in this case, Airtable. So we can have forms that populate the data to Airtable automatically, and they're actually really good forms. We have user accounts that read our user records table in Airtable, and we can like modify that data from there. And you can see that we have multiple designs, okay, and so many ways we can create and sign users with Google. We can do it with single sign-on. We can do it with custom user and password. We can send like a code to the email. We have so many ways to let them log in. Then we have payment blocks for those folks looking for a SaaS or for a membership platform. You can use these blocks that connect with Stripe, and they're really good. Okay, they're native and they're very very quick to process payments.
So,
Then we have
David, I'm curious. Who are you just mentioned a few use cases for Softr? Who would be like the best user of Softr? Like, who are usually the people building apps in Softr? Not maybe they're like the ones that want to build an app in Softr. Who is that usually?
Okay, that's a very good question. So, software is being used mostly for internal portals. Let's suppose that you're a school and you want to give your student parents access to their inscription, to their monthly payments, to communications, citations, all of these. Like you can create that system for them. Or you have a startup, okay, a SaaS platform again, and you want to give a really nice looking portal to your customers where they can interact with the data. They can request packages, they can receive the packages internally. So this is a very nice use case, but we've also seen some pricing calculator systems built with software for internal, like internal tools specifically, not client facing tools. And we also see e-commerce in there. Like it is super easy to establish an e-commerce with software. Um,
When you say e-commerce, is that like I could, instead of using Shopify, I could try to build my e-commerce through Softr?
exactly, you could.
That's
You
pretty
could, you
sweet.
could. I've seen cases where people sell T-shirts or they sell art. Okay, even auctions, crowdfundings. Like a lot of things have been built using software. Yeah,
Awesome. Sorry, I cut you off as we were going through these. I think there's a few more blocks you wanted to show, but I think those are all great use cases. That's also right in line with the use cases that I've helped people build.
sure, sure, sure.
Oh,
So I just continue from where we left off, right? Okay. So then we have the list blocks, okay, that as the name shows, okay, it shows a collection of multiple items from our database. So this block that I showed here previously is a list block that we connect with the resource. And we pretty much have different designs available. We have new designs that of course you can see they have the new tag. We have older designs, but everything works fine. We have upvotes availability. So for example, if we want a roadmap page for our product, we can use this kind of blog that is connected to a database. We have like a smaller blocks where we can show more data in smaller spaces. We have timeline views. We can display videos as well. We have
is
many, many
a
options.
is a timeline pretty similar to Airtable's timeline view?
Not really. Like that timeline is vertical, it's not horizontal. So it is more for like a roadmap. Just imagine that you are creating a crowdfunding page, and you want to display what's your timeline in the project, or you're developing something. like another software, or you have a program, for example, a nonprofit would be very um, good for this use case. So they can say, hey, we help these people during these times. Yeah, they can have their full history, but it's vertical, not horizontal. Then we've got list details. Okay, that here is a big difference. We have list and we have list details. List, as I explained, is this collection of data, and list details is the expansion of each collection of data within the list. So if we click on this element, it should open a list details page that has the information of that option that you selected. And Software is smart enough to connect them together, to put them together.
So could you explain that to me as if I was, so let's pretend I'm someone who uses Airtable already.
Yes.
This is displaying Airtable data. What's the equivalent of what you, like these two different types of pages, but in Airtable?
Okay. So this in Airtable would be, we go to a list first. Okay. So the list would be the grid view that you have on Airtable, right? And the list details would be when you expand that record, when you go to the very left of the record and it has the two arrows to expand, and you click and it opens up with everything inside, even comments and history log, is this. Like that will be the equivalent. You can see all the details, you can edit them, you can see related records. For example, if we have link record fields and they're connected and they display, we can also build it here. So we can have a very deep level of connection with all the data.
I feel like this right here is like one of the most fundamental things, like because software has these in two different types of pages or blocks. But this is like the most core fundamental thing to learn if you want to get good at software, at least like as a beginner thing to
Yeah,
learn.
that's totally true. And that's why a lot of people are using Softr right now.
Yeah, because this enables you to really create an app. It's like if you went to the Facebook app on your phone and you saw a list of all of your friends, but you couldn't click into any of them, you couldn't go to any of their profiles, like this enables you to have a real app-like experience. You can see a list of all the posts or a list of all your friends, and then you could click into them. You can expand a friend and see their friends as well.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah. And of course, we have more blocks. Like we've got table blocks. So for these people that really like their grid views and their CSVs, okay, you can also have that level of visualization here. So the table is pretty much a list view, okay, but with a table format, and it works great. A lot of customers of us are using it. We have also an option like an inbox, so it looks like an email, so you can expand and you can see a lot of details of each record right out of the box. So instead of having a list that you click and it loads into another page, everything loads in this case within the same page with no loading time. So this is really cool. We also have calendars that they work perfectly. We can connect them with data even of Google calendars. Okay, we can book events. We have a lot of options with these calendars. We've got Kanban boards. Okay, so if we want to have task management, this is awesome for that. We've got charts for these use cases where we need to visualize data in portals. We have summary cards that, of course, also allow us to see like summarized data. Organizational chart. If we have a hierarchy within the company, we can also visualize it. Comments. If we want to, a chat or a way to communicate for a record, okay, as we would do in Airtable, we can also do it with Softr.
Does that sync with Airtable comments? Like, can my team be commenting in Airtable, and then we have the vendors using Software and they're commenting in Software?
No, you need to create a table of comments in Airtable for this to work.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's not like this using the same native commenting feature in Airtable. It's like
yeah,
Software has their own sort of commenting.
exactly. But here is the thing: you can keep all the comments privately in the Software app that they do not go to Airtable, or you
Hmm.
can take them to Airtable and have them in Airtable. So in theory, and I've built this before, you could have a chat on an Airtable interface where your client is texting you from the Software app and you're replying from the Airtable interface.
That's pretty neat.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's cool.
Then we have maps, which is really powerful. So imagine that you have, I don't know, an event system or a booking, hotel booking, house booking, motorbike booking, car booking, anything you need. Like you could display all your options in the map. So it's really nice. You can create like Airbnb like maps. So that's really nice. And then we have Twitter, where of course you can connect your Twitter account and it will display all your tweets. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's for the dynamic blocks. For static blocks, we have a lot of options as well. We have nice headers. They have like different designs. So one thing that I want to be clear with Software is that you need to know what design you're going to use before you actually start customizing the block. Because once that you select it, you can't change it. You will have to do everything again. So it
Mm.
is important for you to have an idea of what design is better, which design you like it more. So that's something that I highly recommend. We have like hero sections where we can display images with with email signups or with buttons, with download buttons for your apps. You have a lot of options. We have features which are dynamic. They change. They have really nice animations. Okay.
So
Uh,
this
yeah.
right now on the Optimize IS website, it's built on Software, and it's using like the web page is using most of these features that David is going through right now. There's a few blocks at the bottom of the page that do reference Airtable data that would have been a dynamic block. But if you do look at the link in the description for Optimize IS, it's going to be using most of these kind of blocks.
Exactly. Yeah, and actually, a lot of people use software for building landing pages. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't necessarily need to build an app. You could just build a custom page for you, and you can have it done in less than a day. And the reason why I like software more than WordPress for this is because it's faster. Like you don't need to install a million plugins on your system that will slow down your page, and that you can
Yep.
connect it with your custom domain pretty easily, and even on the free version. So it's really powerful and efficient. So yeah, a lot of people are using that. And then we have what I think is the most powerful block in software, that is the custom code block. Okay, like this thing right here that I'm showing you can pretty much take software to a whole another level. So this is really powerful. There are not many software developers out there, but the things that we will show you later that I built myself with custom code are really powerful.
Yeah. So David, I mean, how long have you been building in Software to where now you're like pretty good with the custom code? Because early on, I didn't see hardly any solutions. Either I definitely was not building them. Our clients didn't come to us with many custom code blocks, but like, how long did it take you to get to the custom code section?
Well, for me to get in the custom code section, I started last year. So last year, life took me to Asia, and I was working on nights for Optimize. So I had the days for me, and I just say, hey, I have to do something. And I have a coding background because I studied computing engineering, but I abandoned it over 8 years ago already.
Yep.
And I just said, okay, let's work on this. And I started practicing with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT reminded me how to code. I knew how to apply the logic already. And after that, I learned by myself. And with ChatGPT, it's a really nice teacher. And I learned it myself during the last year. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Any
And
other core things that you would share about software in general?
yeah, I also want to mention that software is pretty good and advanced when it is related to mobile apps. You can actually build PWAs that look great on your devices. They are 100% responsive. They look good in all of the systems or sorry, in all of the screens that you may have, and it also has really nice SEO feature. So it allows you for our friends here who might be interested on positioning your website. You can add like Google site verifications IDs. You can add like the search engine crawlers, URL redirects. You can add tags right here. You have a lot of options, and they can be
Mm.
applied to the entire app level or to the individual page level. So it also allows us to add custom code on the headers and the footers of the page. If we want to connect with Google Analytics, we can do it. With Facebook Pixels, we can do it. With AIs that analyze website like hot zones, you can also do it. So it's really good for this. You can send user notifications on emails, text messages. Um, yeah, like you can do a lot of things that are very powerful, and again, they're all out of the box available for you. So
Do you see a lot of people trying to use Software for like SEO or for like using it with Facebook ads and throwing pixels in there? Is that like a pretty common use case?
it is getting more common than ever because a lot of people are creating blogs with Software and again e-commerce, so they need to know where their leads are coming from, so they're connecting that data to Software. Yeah.
Mhm. That makes sense. I know I can think of two clients where we've launched a progressive web app or PWA. And that's pretty cool because it like you can make it to where it shows up on your home screen on your phone and you can just like click right from it and it takes you to what looks like
And
an iPhone app.
yeah.
Yeah.